We are working towards something, but it is inherently meaningless.
Paul Morphy, the first chess genius, famously said, "The ability to play chess is a sign of a gentleman. The ability to play chess well is the sign of a wasted life." At only the age of 22, Morphy abandoned competitive chess. Okay, I'm no Paul Morphy, but was grinding to 2000 actually worth it? Are there tangible benefits to grinding this much in chess? We actually rarely question the origins of our motivations. I was forced to when I watched this video from Fabiano.
We are working towards something, but it is inherently meaningless.
Okay, you cannot say that.
No, but it's true. I mean, okay, we work towards something very seriously, but it is a board game, which you devote decades of your time to. Of course, then the question would be, what should you devote your time to? Everyone will have a different answer.
Exactly. For us, it's just
most
chess.
People will agree that chess exists in the world where chess probably doesn't make a great deal of difference.
We all age. Right now, I'm knocking on the door of 30 years old. This is usually a time people stop to reflect. What hobbies should I continue? Which hobbies were just a waste of time? What long-term goals and visions are actually worth pursuing? Limited time and energy means you can't get good at everything. You can't learn everything. You can't do everything. You must choose. And every choice has an opportunity cost. 30 minutes learning the lines of the Ruy Lopez could be spent writing a book, which could also be 30 minutes spent with friends or family, which could also be 30 minutes spent towards whatever. In this video, we're going to explore the question of whether chess is meaningful. So meaning is very difficult to pin down. The devil is in the details, and the details depend on definition. Utilitarian meaning. This perspective attributes value and meaning to actions and outcomes that produce the most well-being for the whole, or for the most people. Personal, subjective meaning. This perspective emphasizes the personal and subjective. What the individual enjoys and finds meaningful is meaningful. Nihilistic meaning. This perspective believes the universe is completely void of inherent meaning. Ultimately, everything is a human construct. Nothing is better or worse than anything else. Religious meaning. This perspective derives meaning from service to a higher power through spiritual practices. I'm sure there's many other definitions or perspectives on meaning, but for the purpose of this video, we're going to have to cut it there. Now, how you view the world is going to dictate how you answer this question. You can and likely do agree with multiple definitions of meaning. Now back to the clip. Fabiano clearly claims that chess is ultimately meaningless through a utilitarian lens.
People will agree that chess exists in the world where chess probably doesn't make a great deal of difference.
Christian responds with the personal or the self-satisfaction vision of meaning. And he says, for us, it's just chess.
Of course, then the question would be, what should you devote your time to? Everyone will have a different answer.
Exactly. For us, it's just chess.
Now let's continue with this utilitarian worldview. Let's say we removed all the doctors, engineers, nurses, firefighters, paramedics. Would there be a change to global well-being? I think the answer is obvious. So to answer the question, if you are viewing the world through a utilitarian lens, I agree with Fabi. Chess is an inherently meaningless game. Somebody might be thinking to themselves, but how about all the cognitive benefits of chess? People waste time watching TV or watching reality shows. I mean, there's so much vacuous information. At least I'm doing something that requires your brain. Did I say you're not wrong? But what about Go, Dota, League of Legends? Can it be interchanged with anything else? Like, what is inherent in chess that makes it meaningful? That's the argument the person who views the world through a utilitarian lens would use. Let's provide an alternative perspective now. You're old and gray, sitting at a coffee table with your chessboard sat on the table. You happily wait for strangers to challenge you with a game and a conversation. Chess was taught to you by your grandfather, and you hear his voice whenever you don't castle. This is personal or subjective meaning. Do you see beauty in chess? It doesn't matter if society benefits or if it maximizes well-being. In my research, I looked at what former world champions said about the game that they dedicated their lives to. Magnus said, without the element of enjoyment, it is not worth trying to excel at anything. B. Fisher said, you can only get good at chess if you love the game. Paul Morphy, who provides that other perspective, says, chess never has been and never can be aught but a recreation. It should not be indulged into the detriment of other and more serious avocations. My goal with this video is to get anybody watching it to evaluate this question for themselves. The rest of this video is going to allude to sort of my answer to the question. Here's a thought experiment by a philosopher named Susan Wolf. There are 4 characters. The first character is called the Blob. The Blob is the person who does absolutely nothing. He sits on his couch, he is totally passive, and he's perfectly happy with everything that he's doing. Simply happy existing. This is character number 1, the Blob. Character number 2 is the Useless. This person is incredibly active in their endeavors. They work passionately to do something that is not inherently valuable. Picture somebody who spends their entire day collecting bottle caps. They work passionately, they work very hard, but they're just collecting bottle caps. Makes them happy, but there's nothing like inherently valuable. And character number 3 is the failure. This person pursues goals that provides benefit and value to others, but they ultimately fail in them. And the final character is success. This person provides and pursues value to others, and they actually succeed in their goals. Individuals were asked in a study to rank these characters. Without fail, especially if you're watching this video, you probably easily rank these characters. Success number 1, failure number 2, useless number 3, blob number 4. So people judged the 3rd and 4th character as having the most meaningful lives. Even the failure, even the person who did not achieve the goal, was ranked only a few points below the success. So now let's connect these characters with the meanings that we just talked about. According to a nihilistic perspective, all 4 characters are equally meaningless. Doesn't matter which character you choose, it's the same. The utilitarian perspective would probably only emphasize the success. There is a world where the failure leads to potential success in the future for other people, so people can build on his work. The personal satisfaction vision of meaning would say all 4 lives could be meaningful to each individual character. If that's what they chose to do, and if that's what they like, that's perfectly good enough. The religious meaning would prioritize the successful and the failure. Regardless of how hard somebody works, even if they don't achieve whatever their goal is, striving is important to that person. But the reason I bring this up to you is because getting good at chess takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I think it's worth evaluating before taking that journey. Is chess the person who's collecting those bottle caps? Ultimately, I agree with Paul Morphy's statement. Proper place for chess for me is recreational. I think, at least theoretically, I prioritize religious and utilitarian meaning and value. On some level, many people will view the world through sort of personal satisfaction. I mean, that's just human. Ideally, the hobbies and vocations that we do select intersect with all of our definitions of meaning. For this reason, I want to expand what I talk about on this channel. Chess is fun. I love chess. I'm going to keep playing chess, but I don't want that to be the central message of this channel. And I'm genuinely curious as to what you thought about this video or what you think about chess and meaning. Maybe you're just a person who just wants to have fun. This is just not something you consider. Maybe this is something you have considered and you looked at it a different way. But whatever it is, just let me know in the comments. I'll read every single one of them.